Remember how all the green lights were supposed to come on?
I used to remember that.
Says it's recording.
We're at 6:30.
Okay.
Do you think it's 6:30 on the 12th, and we'll open the meeting of the Board of Conservation Commission? And it would stand to put the leaders. Staff present this evening include all opponents and Michael Deagle. Commission members present tonight, Joanne Giovanna, Diane Marshall, myself. Paul. Nelson, Christine Iris, and Jeff Knapp. Any comments, questions, concerns, anything that is not? Any for the agenda this evening? Oh. And first item is reorganization of the commission. Yes. Let's take 32.
I make a motion to nominate Bill Lewis to be the chair of the Conservation Commission.
Second.
I make a motion to close nomination. Second.
Okay.
Let's get on to the second row.
There it is.
Yes, I.
There was. So.
There's now, take a vote. Being the chair. All in favor of the board, the chairman? Aye.
Aye.
Motion, nominate the engineer, vice chairman, for the Conservation Commission.
Second. All in favor?
Wait, before that, Diane made a motion, who seconded?
There's a motion for nomination, vice chairman.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vice Chair, will bring in.
Aye. Okay, I would like to nominate Danny Picasso for secretary.
All in favor? Close nomination. Aye.
Second. I need to Danny Picasso secretary.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's on reorganization.
I mean, looking at you, downtown to the state recreation.
Close. Nomination. So they don't have it. Right.
I have it.
Next item, now, equipment protection, that goal, equipment protection, five all of the materials, and 10 public hearings, quality, and variety, application, identity, we file 109, 1579, we have 1579.
For the record, Steve Rogers, representing Way, and representing Ben Kennedy and Sarah Elgin, for you. Come over there. They have purchased the property for the Indian, septic system, built satisfied, so they need to replace it. Although the system is entirely in floodplain and groundwater, we could probably clean up that they can do the system without a sheet. So, you know, that on the floodplain becomes complete. The system located entirely outside of the bearing zone, rated greater than 100, but less than 200 feet from the riverbank. And it is 92 feet from the wetland, so it's 10, based on with floodplain and the replacement system is like a 30-year-old system. This is actually Maureen Sullivan's former house, the former town auditor. So 30 years ago, they were doing what they 30 years ago, they were doing this. They had a separation, groundwater, tank, and a better distribution of that. So they're putting in erosion control, we're going to put the conduit, we are, Liz. No variances, all the buffers and requirements are have been met, so. I think we're just getting answering questions, but we're kind of right, this is a relatively simple project that will go towards, you know, cleaning the environment. Questions,
That any comments are concerned, NOI should list, even if it's temporary, that's the minimum lighting. Right now, there's riverfront, but the LSF isn't addressed. So there needs to be the proposed alteration and then the proposed replacement. It's temporary, so that needs to be quantified. As part of the finding and also the price and the review the delineation, there is chicken wire fence that appears to run along, all along, that series A of the field. Regarding stormwater management, Christina, about we noted today, she did comments, I spoke to Crystal, so provided an email summarizing 3 comments for various, what else has the reservations to replace the septic system on the site. So the dimensions should be listed on the structures on the plans. Typically, the board of health, you know, board of health, but the conservation commission requires a visual barrier, no alterations on whether the signs with placards or visual barriers, smart, fence. Should reference data, and there should be a bullet on the construction sequence that the areas to be restored to original grades and walls and stabilized. Seated, I don't know, goes up to the actual works. This is involved in the but when you finish grade should be seen as existing grade. That's it for staff and units.
Yeah. I would see that. Chicken fence, chicken wire, security, remove the signs.
Well, I'm having trouble hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I would see that the chicken wire fence, the trail line, that have that removed. The wildlife hazard, yeah. As we mentioned, she mentioned, okay, so, we need to adapt with the 25-foot conservation zone. I know, it's a beautiful lot. Is it like? Yeah, it's a beautiful lot. So I know the lot was, wooded, so I don't have a problem with this, the proper signs on that. And the area down that goes towards the river. And I'm not sure whether this is conservation seeing this, or I'm not sure what was coming down.
So there's in a riverfront, there's overlap, we have there no operations zone, well, within a 100-foot riverfront area. Looks like there's a long kind of maintaining trail into the river. So it is something that the commission, you know, action.
I generally, based on what's there, but I don't mind, they're putting in septic system. They're not building an addition, if they're required to do this, choosing the building addition, choosing to get a house and do that, which they typically take any things. Like the state statute, they have to replace the septic system, you kind of punishing them by, you're gonna take away some of their land usage. We go through this, if we go through this a lot, it really isn't, I mean, then you're gonna ask them for a variance to restore the land inside of no operation. So,
Steve, Joanne was in the process of just saying that there's an existing passage down to the river, and to show reference an existing path down to the river.
okay, are you gonna lock it in, or are we gonna put plants around it? Or are we gonna do
I
that,
want it to be,
so this is, I call
yeah, I would say, you told me that doesn't go close to that.
It does.
I know it's
Like, is there,
it's a big, it's what, is that, you know?
yeah, maybe not a time, it's just a special case today, usually it's from the end, so we'll just adjust.
Okay.
I have no problems getting it before, and I don't have to follow through the first stand closer to those two, that's up to you. They'll have.
I don't think I can, why are you?
No, I mean, you physically, if you want to see close. You don't have to be the whole, what was the guy who got started with that, right? What I'm saying is that typically homes that are along the river, we know the homeowners like to have some access down to the river, because that's part of the jewelry property, right? So what we like to do though is we have a vegetated buffer, along the board of vegetated, along the PBW, one of the vegetated, well, the board, this one is under the river. So what we look for is that we put blackness or visual barrier with the 25-foot offset would be, and then we'll allow you to kind of pass down to, I don't know, the caveat, we want to plant on it in the water. So it's that very typical, it's not really unusual, it's very typical of what we do. This is what the opportunity is, and appreciate the opportunity to review partial to improve the condition, the existing condition that protect the resource area. Yeah, that.
She doesn't say much, they really don't have any intention on kayaking, charging. Do you wanna go for it? Just say that.
Sarah, I mean, we weren't planning on kayaking on the river or anything, we just wanted to leave it open, so we don't lose any of that area.
Well, there has to be some visual, there has to be some.
Why does it have to be something?
Because we don't want to, we don't want to. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right down to the water, where it's from there.
Yeah, they don't want to do posts. Yeah, right, I think we have over 2 posts. I mean, they're, yeah,
And they don't want to make. Them is one of the little folks, maybe.
You might want to just maintain a map now, there's one there now, right? So.
Yeah.
Your current reference.
I don't want to take it different. I don't know, maybe survive.
All right, so the point is though, that we need to establish the 25-foot wall. And what we say is that we have a top, the rest of it has to start being low, that.
Accommodation, next area of residential.
Yeah, I think that's really, you know,
So it's very limited out there with, you know, it's kind of the way the plan is. Most of the 25-foot wall operations on that area where it's clear is not on their property.
Right.
Right, but we were trying to be nice and allow them to go down to the river. We weren't saying, talking to the river, so I think that's what we're.
Are you asking to restore land that's not on their property? I'm not sure if we could do that.
They can place down a cement, and a lot of people know town property. They're essentially.
Yeah, I told you, and lots of interesting.
Right, but the previous one is, so it's just gonna make it clear that it's the cease and desist mowing town property, but they're providing for access. I think Joanne, you missed it, she had said maybe using posts with placards.
Yes.
This most probably, that is my pretty. So obviously that's already been preserved and vetted. And the other part, the whole money, you know, I will follow, you know, that we did, you know, it's probably one of the factors. It's not very. And there's so many complications. I mean, the other one is, you know, I'm just thinking that to tell you that's right. Conservation seedlings to the fact. So we suggest judging you know what I think. Some of the woods and the maybe two over there.
Yeah, I think one, when you're trying to get marquee and trail by that.
They don't want that, but they do.
It's a nice location, market, on the property.
I think it's an asset you might want to, it's not a property, it's delineated on a plan. And obviously, you know, we did it, so there's a request to do work, and we'll get to establish that. That's what I have, we go to that. Thank you.
Yeah, I had, I'm glad the same time, because the one, I don't know, I think you might have to go to the five to see, I understand. It says field one forty, but it field one twenty, and it looks like they're using one, if you could work out and see that. Sorry. Thank you very much. Right. Yeah, Steve, you're gonna start on. Okay. Replace it. I'm on board. Christine? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And I also, it's a, there's been the 25 foot, zone to just identify between trees and a couple of posts, flags. That would get. Yes.
Steve, I know, I'm not sure if you bought the property or not, there is some debris that between, place to the debris that area, that actually coming out of the property. Is, yeah, I was thinking debris.
right out there.
But I didn't, you know,
When you guys can do
I'm
it.
not sure where.
Actually, you walk across that property. And do it.
Pardon?
Want permission to go across that property? Town means that-
I will, I'll grant that to you.
What's going on? We're in the pack, you know, we-
And sometimes that we're like associated with the property, they're asking to be remembered.
Yeah. Being fresh. And then.
You know, you're being fresh.
So in the fence, you are, why?
Yeah.
It's sort of, it's moving fence, right?
Yeah, in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to take that down. Yeah.
It's a new lot that they're buying, right? That's new lot.
Yeah, and.
So a lot of it is remnant, old,
Yeah.
historic.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
We know that.
yeah, and there was actually a lot of stuff back there, I probably getting out. I don't think it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, sale, but they were the ones kind of grass, they
Yeah.
were trying to get all the items that were in the grass. And a lot of like stash, it was stashing.
We didn't have choice. No, man. All right, so let me get, revise these corrections and, keep hearing, and hearing is, submitted, so I'll make a motion. There is a. I make a motion, just meeting here, it's a line.
All favor? Aye.
It is. Nice spot. Oh, yeah.
That won't be good. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, so protection and the work of protection by law, steering those, and then public hearing, road, lot, we have, from the county, we filed M9, 1570, EDL 1570. For the record, Steve Renser, Resident Way, within Cash Corporation, and the property statute here. As well, this property is located at 56 Dudley Road. We recently appeared in front of the commission. It was granted an ORAD. We now appearing this notice of intent to construct a single family. The parcel is split into 3 lots. Lot 1 is outside, outside of the buffer zone, the non-need file, and we're going to lot 2 and lot 3 will be after there. So we're here to construct a single family home. It has a septic system and associated utilities. There's going to be erosion control at the limit of work, followed by a post-grad fence with signage completed. It's an infiltration system and a stone trench. To actually drain the impervious areas. So the driveway and portion of the house will go into the stone trench and end up with the house will go into the driveway. septic system has been designed, plans to try to find the local regulations. We have submitted it to the Board of Health, but we had not heard from them request approval. Project does meet all criteria of the wetland bylaw, and does not require there. So now, since the wetlands is have been delineated and accepted, it's a pretty straightforward project. It's the criteria. So, any questions? Go ahead and answer them. Rand's here as well.
Hey. Just. Regarding staff review notes, what I hope to submit, just brief comments for the meeting. For lot 2, 56 Dudley Road, a resolution regarding septic system plans, regarding staff review notes. So our copy of the NOI did not have a before read. It's over the next one. It says wetland report. Yeah.
Maybe lot 2.
Lot 2 is nothing, so I lot 3 report. Yeah. So wetlands report, you know, all that. That was just approved on the URN. It's a lot of application. We requested an overall site plan. That was basically approved under the A&R. We did receive a call regarding this kind of the layout. It was approved, so for the record, the commission has nothing before them that shows the entire lot and how it was or is subdivided. They're not part of the planning board, so for the record, that A&R should be submitted. I think that's how we
Where we find this,
Right, I understand that there's a lot 2, a lot 1, and it's part of a big property, but this is just our staff review, not Steve. I can tell you that ready to pounce today. But I'm just giving my staff review, and she can discuss it with the commission. With regards to compliance with the bylaw, yeah, we did a great job at, complying with the 50-foot on all grading zone, even provided, extra on the backside. This lot is part of the larger 56 Dudley Road, as the commission may be familiar with. It did receive an A&R approval. This permit status form should reference that it was approved under an A&R or endorsed, and that ZBA denied it. The new permit status form doesn't have that for the record. This is a little complicated because there was a few different plans that were up there by the applicant showing different lots, and that is why the commission for the record, lot 2 and lot 3, not lot 1, should have for the record the A&R plan that was approved for this. Because we did receive a call from a member of the public inquiring about them. And again, it's not referenced on your permit status form. With regard to roof infiltration, there's a drywall proposed in the front, there's a stone fence proposed on the driveway, on the low end of the driveway, so probably it'll pitch in that direction. And then there's a septic system that will need to be approved by the Board of Health, and I don't know what the status of that is. Okay. Yeah, but Crystal did mention that there was no reservations on that. And this lot was part of, again, a larger 56 Dudley Road. So a walk through the no alteration zone should be completed during the construction removal. Any miscellaneous debris is probably another lot. And some of this, alteration zone is historically cleared. So that's it for our site observations.
Yeah.
Oh, it's meetings. Okay, thank you. Okay, then, I know that the address, the question is, you know, seeing it out there, reminds me of the, see the 50-foot no operations, what is the vegetation condition of this particular one lot?
It's mostly like a meadow, right? It's a field. It's a field that was, yeah, it's,
Okay. So we
that
have
would probably move,
yeah.
There's no, there's one here, because of the way, Fran,
All right, so the plan is taking one higher value of alteration from the construction mode. I don't know what kind of grasses they are.
It was maintained as long as it was,
So if you want those to be,
or it was mowed, so it's not.
there's no true value of grass.
It's one from this moment.
All right, so I think I'll need a restoration plan for that area. With no alteration. But we asked for is that it has a higher value, relative to, protection of the resource areas. We've done it before.
I'm unclear, what is the asking for exactly?
I'm sorry.
What is it asking for?
I'm asking for a plan to restore the no alteration zone into a vegetated, native plants.
What go wrong? We're getting 50 feet.
in the moment now, for 50 feet, you're gonna have to put up a post rail fence.
Oh,
So in between the post rail fence and wetlands, they're asking you to provide a restoration plan for that, because all it's right now, we can go back to the square.
that's all it was. Field.
Yeah, I know, but this is our opportunity now to get a higher value of native vegetation, and so obviously it's not component. There'll be conservation. While I'm seeing it come down, and we'd like to see to plan, and just put down other files that you've got. So I think that, you know, and I'm assuming, I don't know what the next one can be like, but it's just so by surprise.
The next one is
What is it? It really gives that.
All right, we get to that, we'll discuss it, I just want to take my surprise.
We got it, for this one thing. That's the question. I've already,
Hi.
they're asking me to provide like some, yeah, so,
Lauren Harold, North Environment Services, I live the site for Mr. Dressa.
they're asking to, provide like restoration plan and fit in that meeting with the report, thoughts on that.
Yeah, we can do a restoration plan, some native plantings, some blueberries, dogwood, stuff of that nature, that's not a problem.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so work together to get that done.
All right, that was great. Other than that, I think we did a, thank you, I think you did a nice job with, thinking the house and the configuration, but I do appreciate the, physical. From the bio and the.
I am very happy to see it, we're able to talk about it, but no operation going, you know, I'm always happy to see, put it along that, the area that the scenic road character of the, Steve, I do have a question, specifically, that's not the big house on the.
Oh, no,
Yeah, so you can figure that out. And I'm just kind of curious, you said nothing in conservation, but when do you think those houses are going to be there?
Certainly after I don't know yet. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's not on this law, it's, you know,
Yeah, but we can't buy the property until we get street conservation and their house. My understanding is that a lot of visitors.
Oh, yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff has, people just that. That when they go to vote. But I don't know, I don't want to say, yeah, no, that would not be.
So we had scammed with something, so we said, you know, the gentleman looks at the property. Like a lot of people on camera.
You know, what stuff has been all that, and, you know,
Yeah.
people the word.
He did a good job.
He did.
The border was,
Yeah. That's the only thing. Yeah, I'm all set.
yeah, yeah, Steve. Experience. Right, yes.
Where's that?
This 30 or 16 feet, that's not,
Oh, yeah.
it's a pump.
Yeah, it's 2,000 rounds, that's.
Yeah, but that Gina decided what they want, it looked like the garage is. Oh, yeah. We'll do that outside. Well,
It's a garage.
yeah.
On the back of the straight garage.
Oh, yes, it was all, I spoke about 16 feet of living. I'm sorry. But that's what the bumper will do. Yeah, right, you know, also, yeah, I'm all like that, which you.
Did you show the stock file here?
No, but. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's that home for, like, going around.
I'm looking for.
Yeah. That would be great. Any questions? Concerns on the other? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. 709. And next item is not wetlands protect and act and board for wetlands protection by all limits during notice of the bank on the hearing on the fifth. Southern Road lot 3 out in Brandon County. EDP file number 109-1577, BBL 1577.
Thank you. Record, Stephen Dresser, Dressman's Way, again representing Cashier Corp. This is lot 3 of the aforementioned project. This is a very similar situation, other than this buffer zone is entirely wooded. This lot was pretty much untouched. Soil conditions are very different even over here. Very sandy soils, a little bit smaller septic as a result of that. Again, FE, erosion control and post rail fence, minimum of the 50-foot offset, as well as a little bit more on the back. Just basically just developing what it's needed for the house and septic system. There is an infiltration system again for roof runoff, as well as a stone trench to the gravel. Septic system again designed under Title V and local regulation, and has been submitted to the Board of Health. It's currently under review. It meets the entirety of the bylaw. Variances. Any questions about it?
Yeah, just trying to review, what how the DPW stuff for. Yeah, so for this 56 W Road, lot 3, applicant needs to obtain an admin determination for new foundation work within 100 feet of the floodplain. No reservation regarding septic system plans. Regarding staff review notes, as Stephen mentioned, it is a pretty vegetated part of the property. Lot 3 was subdivided, from the property 56 Dudley Road. The plan references outlet buried. The outlet was actually replaced on July 2nd. It's no longer buried. We work with BPW to address some of the flooding that was going on the other side of this property across the street. And so that's been replaced. So I would just remove that note. But aside from that, conservation doesn't have any law. We don't have any law. Staff, well, actually, we do, the permit status form should also be updated for this. This is ZBA that denied the original plan, and there's an A&R plan that was approved by the planning board. They have to right after one another.
Steve, this is the one with the hot copy version doesn't have. Got it.
So the other one, yeah, see what you can get.
Same one.
For the rest of the board.
I'm live. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be thinking that way. I don't think I would.
After that, the plan does recommend the flagging that it's approved on your end, and we did send an email to Steve knowing that it should reference the booking page number of the play. So that is updated on the plan, which the commission. I don't know if you have that version.
I think it helps that. I didn't change that.
That's what staff is.
Yeah. All right, so I'm assuming that the two for the offset is everything administrative.
Yeah, it's, I don't, it's fair call. Yes, yes.
I know the and, you know, down here, we do know the town. System of you. No, we have here, you have the actual, we have in mind, address, not that's the difference of the thing. We can administer and
Make it.
that's the thing. Yes, this one. What is it?
It's the on-map green engineering flood zone.
Oh,
It's like it becomes a zone, it's what's considered green engineering. So, you know, how it's probably. So that shifted real life, probably.
This is associated with the stream.
But it's associated. Yeah, it's very small.
You might want to compare that to your question, so that, sorry, I think you have to. And you mentioned the roofing separation, that was the follow the separation system.
Right.
Yeah, there's two, actually, three, there's one, two, three. Yeah, I know the question. Thank you.
All set. No, but Christine. Yeah. All set, thank you. Oh, I want to. There's the original house. Figure it out. This now.
No, this is.
The other house. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
The original house is up.
Yeah.
Already down and.
What's that?
Is there a thought how you ever seen one?
Now, I wrote on my notes.
I'm surprised the guys didn't fight over that one.
I didn't know that someone. Good. Any questions? Audience? No?
Okay, now I'm going to be hearing for, it's got the little, but three, I'm going to have about 1.957, you know, 1.57, the young, for you guys.
I second it. All in favor?
Thank you.
I'm planning that's what I need to back that. And go over the ones my role, what the hearing notice and public hearing, put on law, road, getting away with properties, and so let it know by. With the chair, can I speak on the report? Okay, good. So I'm just reading the thing from the Board of Health. This, not saying it's in don't need to be addressed, don't need to be done, it's a big deal. But this place has been a repair shop since the early eighties, probably back in the '70s. I did motors in there, transmissions in there, clutches in there. It's been a repair shop whole lot. How it got listed as electronics, I don't know over the years, but it had Class A junk capital. So, just correct, that's all. I know the stuff needs to be done, but it was what it was. It is what it is.
Is there a letter that I should be privy to, or? I have no idea where it's from.
You wanna see it?
I can go over staff review notes again.
That's a good answer.
Well, maybe I should have done that before you do that.
I appreciate it.
That was just a courtesy that was not submitted, just the summary. She noted, we're on, the applicant needs to obtain a variance to work within floodplain. I have communicated with the applicant regarding this requirement. That's on the side.
I just like to point out that use is not a determination by the Board of Health, it's a determination by the building department. So.
She didn't mention.
I don't think anybody's disputing, I'm just saying that
This is
what it was.
it is also,
Where's
the use will change from electronic repair to automotive repair.
I would just wait for the project to be presented. It's being recorded, so things are streamlined, and then we can get into comments and reviews. I would just present the project at this time. I was talking, you was talking about the Board of Health. This is actually Christina Papadopoulos from the DPW. You can
Yeah,
get it in that.
let me know the right time to address this, please.
I think you need to be on a private.
Okay. Not Florida. That's okay. Steve Dresser, First Winton Way, and everything's being dated, major properties, LLC, in this area. Yeah, George. He is the manager of J&A Properties. He has purchased, this building, which was including Kenzie's electronics, but also has repaired that at 309 Boston Road. He's converted the space, cleaning it up. He's done a good job cleaning the site. You know, remember from a year or so ago, a lot of things outside, like these dumpsters, all that. So he's rehabilitating the building and converting the inside for his automotive repair business. I think he specializes in transmissions. All activity that may or may not be considered hazardous or a bubble or whatever will occur inside the building. So a bubble doesn't apply. Stormwater doesn't really apply relative to the use because it's all on the inside. What we're here really is just to restore the park. So over the years, it has become in severe disrepair. This area was next. It's a nice business. He wants it to look nice, so he wants to repair the park. So certainly will help his business run more smoothly. They also require to put an oil and grease separator in. It's kind of coming out of the building. So they're just small pipes, but they have to be there. And this is to help prevent any possible overflow that may happen inside the building. They have to put in drains in there that will catch anything before it leaves the building, and then it goes into the track, which catches the oil and grease to prevent it from going into the sewer system. So this is the environmental plus right there. This is a redevelopment project. Because it reduces the impervious area, and the way we reduce the impervious area is providing a 2x2 stone trench around the perimeter, like really down slope perimeter of the park. So on the southerly and the westerly sides, we're going to take out pavement and replace it with a stone trench. Part of the redevelopment project is maximum feasibility compliance. As part of that, one of the requirements is space, and other one is cost. So in order to properly run its business, go around the outside and all that, there's only so much reduction in the pavement that Saturday do. So that is, we feel it's in compliance with the national standards as well as the redevelopment standards. They did supply a redevelopment checklist after the submittal. I was asked to bring that up. It's based on another project in town. So that, put that on the screen. You can go over that if you have some questions. But you know, primarily it's stormwater standards, and certain ones in a redevelopment project has to be compliant to the maximum feasibility, again, space, cost, ability to get it done, are factors in the feasibility compliance. And we will increase separator, will be plumbing code, cleaning the site, things. So I think when all is said and done, I think I'll agree that if this is a huge upgrade to what was there. No drainage components now, we're going to go directly to that stream, which runs directly to the Concord River. So we are improving the land as it says. Any questions? Bill was over there as well.
Yes, we provided some initial preliminary comments regarding stormwater, the initial and a lag. Noted that it's not subject to the mass stormwater management standards on page 7. That should be corrected, and there's always a It's not a single family house, so for the record. The project is subject to the stormwater management standards. And we noted that a redevelopment checklist would be required as part of the documentation. The C did provide an additional exhibit, which included the redevelopment checklist, preliminary accounts, and an O&M plan, which should be reviewed by the commission. That O&M plan should be accompanied by a BMP plan, just addressing the snow storage, where that's going to be, how it's going to be managed on site on a regular basis, if there's overflow, things of that nature. We're actually on site a couple years ago related to enforcement action back there. So like it's snow, not on this property, but there's been issues, and then we also have the incident stream to the left side of the property, which is I don't know, an arrow. The commission typically requires a visual barrier that is shown here is a posted announcement events with placards. The O&M plan should reference the no alteration zone area in the stream, which includes commercial sites and industrial sites, which has had that pattern. And then the Board of Health did submit comments, just to brief for the purposes of this meeting. And that was applicant needs to obtain a variance for where the floodplain that she indicated this with the applicant already. And then DPW, Christina Papadopoulos, stormwater engineer, submitted a memo. I reviewed the plans. I will notice the 10 plan by Justin Williams away, dated July 29th, for the reconstruction and change of use in 309 Boston Road. The use will change from electric repair to automotive repair. This is a significant change relative to potential for stormwater pollution. It is also within the engineering floodplain associated with Stearns Brook. The stormwater management being proposed does not properly address stormwater quality, especially for auto repair shop along Stearns Brook, upstream of the Concord River. Proper pre-treatment should be required prior to infiltration. The stormwater runoff does not appear to be controlled with curbing. I recommend this peer review. And then further on to add catch basin protection on Boston Road. And then it should be noted that the oil and grease separator is not properly labeled on the plan. Also, an additional sewer manhole will be required where the effluent from the new oil grease separator will connect to the existing sanitary service. So that work is within jurisdiction also, if you want that addressed. Steve did know that I think the interior of the building has been retrofitted with flooring. So the building interior of the building has been retrofitted with floor drains to accommodate. It will be.
Yes,
Okay.
they just started, it is some demo, I think it's just one oil separator tank. Yeah, it's going to be.
There's floor drains inside that go to that tank.
I talked to, Brian, just over there, but it's all. Yeah, I have to share with you.
Prior to our original notes to clarify, that the building will be, we're installing a series of drains that will connect to the new oil grease separator and such. And then, DPW was asking for sort of manhole, so that's something that should be addressed. The commission cannot close this hearing if there is no PP file, but it stops whether or not this will be peer reviewed. The parking lot construction center, like lots of the advice as well. So that's something that should be clarified. And any miscellaneous trash and debris along Stearns Brook where the property boundary to the wetland area, obviously it's. That's just that. Mike pointed out this as well on his agenda. General construction sequence should address the post and rail fence, obtaining a certificate of compliance to the close it out. At the variance request of the plan. For reference of, and then one arrow, the dimensions of the structures of the existing structures on the plan.
Mr. Chair. Yeah, there's no DEP file number because apparently DEP jacked up a category on fixing the parking lot. So that's the process. We just have to send an additional file. So that's what's holding the DEP number. As far as this letter from the DPW, it would be nice if I could get these other than handed to me so I can prepare myself. I wouldn't like to make any decisions on this tonight until I can prepare for one. The green engineering floodplain is reduced by 3 feet along the Concord River. This is floodplain associated with Concord River. So it's actually, if you look at the maps, the zoning bylaws say to reduce 3 feet along the Concord River. That goes way back to the 80s, and they decided that they're wrong or whatever, so they reduced it 3 feet on the river, 1 feet on the shore. Again, the use doesn't matter, everything's happening on the inside, so our management is clear on the level, and anything that it's not being able to storm, not being affected by stormwater, which obviously in the interior is not affected by stormwater, does not constitute a use of higher potential pollutant load. So that's it really doesn't matter the use inside that building is use it outside the building. There's no significant change relative to the potential for stormwater pollution.
Just a note for the same, as I had about this area. We could just do the address of the actual. But I can notice it. On the plan, it says the pavement to be restored, what does that mean?
They're gonna grind it down.
We're just gonna rip out.
We actually are taking on the.
Yeah. The board of appeals said that they can only order business if I read the entire law.
Okay, so I think that was what needs to be.
I gotta read it. Grind it.
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna base on.
Good probably, that one will be good, pretty soon. I would think they'll rip it up.
Because they probably have to grade it. To keep the water, right?
Plus, we put in those, we put in the separators and everything.
I think that needs to be. Changed. That it's really a. New pavement. To be, so we need that explained.
Place.
I don't know, so, tell it, I mean, I'm gonna see the whole thing up. You're gonna put down the grade and, so we.
You'll put down, yeah, process gravel or whatever.
Yeah, so we get that. In the area,
Thanks.
and then we can just change the
I'll
word.
take it.
I wasn't sure that. Okay, now, it says, you know, fence, maybe the video variance, so the project is not changing fence of the existing.
Well, there's the existing chain link fence is on our property.
What was it, the side of the property, it's not,
What's that?
it goes, there's no one else, I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of students are, it goes along into that side of your property.
Yeah, we'll go along that property to the property, so we'll kind of overlap that chain of fence, which, it's a farm.
Yeah, and that's, you have another, this is posted rail fence with sign, but there's actually existing chain link, so what is the chain remain, the chain be taken out?
No, the chain is gonna take it out. So the one that shows existing chain link, it's not on their property.
No, actually, I'm talking about the spirit. Well,
Oh, yeah.
There is someone
It
that.
says existing chain, do you want to move that? Oh,
says on the top of it. So then we put some mail on there.
yes, and that's. There was losing more than just the 2 feet of pavement over there, that's kind of straightened out a little bit.
Okay, so now, I was heading to walk the property, I did walk, I looked at the door was open, but I could find it, but.
I thought it was.
Well, the door was open.
Yeah.
But I completely, yeah, but I did walk the property, but I was nervous because there was a lot of. The place down the back. Yeah, and it has, I did not live too far from here, so I have to know the property and the real block, but also take a lot, I appreciate that. So, but there is still a lot of debris on it, parking lot, even terrible shape, that's why I got it. So this section over here along Stevens Brook, I'm not sure what the rest of the guys, I'll just. There's no curb cut there, right? It doesn't say no on the.
Correct, it's just big. Yeah.
Right.
It's direct.
So I'm wondering, I didn't notice that it's being used for everything, but is there some way that that property could be actually eliminated more impervious and actually become more of a nice, I don't think it's my opinion.
I think the intent is to drive around the building, so.
When you take it out to the street, you're gonna go to the front of the building.
There's a curb, excuse me, there's a, you drive around, there's a curb cut. On that side.
There's a curb cut at the front of the building.
Okay, so my question is, but I. Maybe this one should be. So my question is, what is the purpose of having to work on a building? There's no way that you can just back out and go, just come back to the parking lot. This is an opportunity to do some, restoration along the stream.
Yeah.
Look at this thing and pick up some more space back in.
I mean, one major thing is like if I'm working on your car, and I have to back it out, smash it, it's a lot easier to just pull it around, you know. Like a lot instead of pull forward and backwards. I may, you know, if I'm really busy and I have to park cars, you know, that's a spot for the cars.
Who would get, I think, but still, you're looking to park vehicles in the parking lot.
Okay, of course.
So then it doesn't, I think it's useful to do, like,
You're allowed to have a park.
yeah, I know.
Saying basically concept, like right there.
Excuse me, I think it's myself, everybody, I have to finish the questions, so we can please let me finish my questions. Thank you. My concern is that if we build vehicles parked here, they come to have transmissions down or whatnot, so we need that they have a oil or other transmission fluids, which is working on the parking lot, which directly run off to this, connection. That does not seem sufficient for this type of work. This is considered a repair shop. I mean, you're saying you work this out, there's no guarantee this is going to be something happening in the parking lot. So what I'm making a comment to the rest of my commissioners is that I believe we should send them here to do. See if there is more that can be done. It seems like really more needs to be done. Very streaming, which is a wonderful finding to give these hydrocarbons regular. So I really would like this to be here to do this. Thank you.
If I may, for what it's worth, the major ones where the cars will be coming, so it is. on the right side of the building, the street on the other side. For what's it? I don't really see any fluids getting over there, but I already see a little concern.
Why don't you talk about the change in that? Thank you. But there is no guarantee, I can tell us that we're on the outside, which I take your word for it, but there's no guarantee that you'll never be working outside or what will be properly do. So that is really a concern. That's what I was hoping that we could have got something, more of a healthy vegetation, buffer zone. I don't know whether it was a comments, but maybe that could be addressed in period. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would be in front of parking lot, which is for water repair, and I have no doubt that you're going to be the best that keep it contained in their activity. The site and starting to serve. I think that this needs to go out. Having gone out there, and do a lot of try to we're trying a lot. And there's a lot of stuff out of it.
It's actually, huge risk, is the very example, but it's water now. Probably my money to go over it. It's,
Yeah.
it's risky.
Hopefully, by the time we got to this, I think it's much better than what we did before.
Oh,
The benefit of the time, I appreciate that.
But I think it's,
Yeah. And this is the opportunity, to go and, do some major, clean up and preventative problems in the future. And I appreciate the definitely the information, but again, this is now, this is how we get site going up and first and close the top. I understand that it can't be brought up that you were building a totally new site, but I think this is the opportunity to get some more benefits and make it better. All the other, is pretty good, covered the point, thank you, Good.
In front where it says the pavement to reduce two of them. Is that what the shoes move to that? The water.
All the flow will end up in the trenches, that's the time.
Where potentially, right, so.
Yeah, it goes all the way from Boston Road to the back corner and over the other one.
So it's saying everything is on that.
1.4,
You know, stop and do something. It's a great. I'm all. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. The only, where he's talking about the back of the building, I understand to get things planted over there. How much space is there between the building and the curb, say?
the building and outside,
No, on the south side,
south side.
there's no end,
I mean, we're taking out about 5 feet in some spots,
you're taking 5 feet.
taking 5 feet down. So I don't know, that looks maybe 10 feet there, that's what I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
Up where that 29 is. That's probably the closest point.
okay.
Steve, I do have a question, do you have the area designated for solar storage on this, that I use? Like,
I'm sure it'll do it, outside of the buffer zone, away from. But we'll know that.
thank you.
And I agree with that, period, you want. Everything else has been passed. Any other questions? Just from the audience.
So, the next meeting, well, we have
Anticipation of that, I started to get the ball rolling, just to, for the sake of keeping the ball rolling. Did not conduct, so NBR was conducting, a peer review, here, 223 Boston Road, somewhere we discussed that. There was a new project that had been received. Someone similar redevelopment, great opportunity to redevelop some of this lot. Have it cleaned up. So, I already requested a scope of budget. So. Yeah, just for reference to the also.
All in favor? Are you? Who's got it? They want that 75, or they're that 275, which the town do. So they're gonna regular check with you.
So we have to go to the next meeting, is that what happens?
So it was continued to September 23rd to allow time for coordination for peer review. Basically, the storm that goes through the water, for a level of site and site, industrial, commercial, school essentially, the peer review back out of engineer. That application. I've already started that process, just not the actual peer review, but I'm maybe not scope and budget in the commission to vote that way. So we can, I can coordinate with you and all that sort of.
37, 48. And the rail, that's open to protect, and that's protected by all different steering, no different pen. Continue follow, very settled now, place, after we gone, then we come to fire for a long time, 575, and you get all of that, it's 75. The record, see, Mercer, and John Mercer. This is a public hearing, this Mercer is dividing and constructing addition. We did go through the hearing and some comments were made, and we're presenting this revised plan based on those comments. The revisions include the upgrading the number, the size of shrubs and the number of shrubs. So we got 24 to 40 inch on there was requested. Was brought to my attention today by Mike that even though I grew additional shrubs, that did not put it in the chart. So I did submit the plans today showing additional requirements in the chart. We did relocate the post and rail fence as expressed. From the corner this up here, back and straight into there, that's where they were. We went over on during the meeting, did add stockpile area. So I think combined with everything that we did at the last meeting, I was ready to hopefully get a vote on this. Thank you.
The plan is going to be appears to address. And the question comments from the last. Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody like to correct that.
Thanks for pointing it out.
I think it's a decision, I think it was mentioned at the last hearing, but I couldn't find it. Off the site, go around. On the site, too, it's an old tree house or something, I just didn't that.
I actually did put that on the plan, just to mention it.
Yeah,
It's our,
yeah.
above the shed right there,
It's on.
on the way this way. There's all three hours that we removed from the all three, I dropped off in plans.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, then I did it, I didn't remember. I said that. Thank you. That's it. And then-
Almost out of, yeah, I'm good, thank you. Anyone in the audience and comment to that?
Okay, we have two hearings to be present. The three point of the three, which is the 25% inauguration plan. This is this is as well side, and this is I would develop. Video in the home, so on, garden stuff, the last we came to the ConCom, so which has been shown in the plan here. So we now have a video, well, she's done a big cat. So after that, I need to look at this. And another thing, 3.03C2, which is the unit of impervious surface. Within the bottom zone. And the site of the original house, very little impervious existed in that zone. And we are, so we have 25 trees. I think this is best design it was they could come up with, so the data to be at that area. With that, I'd like the motion to close the hearing, the seminary replace the action to be registered. File number 1195, the other 575, and then design additional application.
All in favor?
I'm sorry, who's second?
And that's what I'm expecting after the order, one protection by all, hearing, no, continue all hearing, 52, Garrett social. Well, shows, on the 1915, ABL 15, 7 strings.
Hi, good evening. Maureen Harold from Nelson Ryan Services. With me tonight is Tom and Norton Strokes, as well as Manning and, I'm sorry, Deb Sheets. Okay, so at the last conservation meeting, the commission gave me a laundry list of items to add to And I can go through those quickly. Proposed increase of impervious area, the commission requested that the percentage be noted, 22%, it's shown on the plan. The B series wetland is labeled as a DPW, and the approximate wetland boundary ties into the floodplain. Eliminated 12 feet because those are off-site on town property and are not applicable. The buffer zones have been adjusted for the B series wetlands. The commission requested that the coverage beneath the driveway be shown, and it's shown on the plan and labeled as 30-inch RC controls. Note number 9 states that the town-owned property should no longer be low. Note 10 states that both another debris will be removed from town land and sealed with a new conservation wildlife mix. An infiltration detail is added to the plan. Boulders are shown east of the driveway bump out and along the restoration area, and a portion of the gravel driveway shall be restored and planted with 6 native shrubs. In addition to that, the commission requested an operation and maintenance plan to be included in the submittal, and that has been included. I did receive an email from Mike this late morning, early afternoon, requesting some additional detail. They wanted to provide labels for crushed stone around the driveway, the width of the crushed stone. I can have that added to the plan, it's not a problem. There were some concerns regarding the overflow outlet from the drywall. There's a 4-inch pipe of overflow that's shown on the detail on the plan. I'm not sure what the concern is because it allows that drywall unit to hold 24 inches of water. Apparently, this is a comment from DPW. I didn't receive a DPW comment letter, so I'm not sure what the concern is regarding that. Another comment was additional stormwater runoff storage is required. Last time I met with you folks, we discussed the infiltration trench for the driveway as well as infiltration to the dwelling that is divided on the plan. I don't know what DPW is requesting. Let's see. Okay, signage needs to be added along the edge of the full length of the driveway. So from the point where we stop the boulders to the driveway, it's 375 feet. When I walked out at the last hearing, I was not under the impression that the commission wanted signage along the entire length of the road, right from the driveway to Glengarry Circle. And beside that, we have 2 existing easements. We have a gas easement and I believe an electrical easement. So even if we put up posts with signage, they could possibly disappear, given the fact that it's within an easement area. With the intent for the commission, did you want me to have signage along the entire length of the driveway to Glengarry Circle?
You talking about the nature of the gravel?
Yeah,
There was some different stone.
so we have boulders along the restored area, but from here to Glengarry Circle is 375 feet. It's quite an area for my client to put signage on both sides of the driveway. Well, my client owns the driveway, but there's 2 easements. There's a Exxon easement and a New England Power easement that goes over the driveway. But I didn't walk away thinking that the commission had requested that. I might have misunderstood. I don't know. Yes, yep. I'm all set.
Regarding this, the email that Maureen was referring to is any of you have received, general DPW reviews, NOI plans, for smaller projects such as this, to make sure that the stormwater runoff is being managed under the drainage regulations. That was something that fell under the umbrella of the Board of Health. DPW is doing that review for the Board of Health for these smaller projects. So those are the comments that, Maureen just referenced. With regard to our staff and notes, usually there's clarification on what the native plans are, or planting schedule, but it does say, the new gravel and plant the 6 native shrubs. With regards to the signage, I agree, there's easement for that area, and then they can kind of come right through and you can do all, and so, but sometimes, which there isn't for maintaining some of these larger easements, but, I would recommend a couple signs just at the bend, and that's something we can give is, I can't recall, is there a guardrail at the culverts? Yeah.
So you're talking about posts and signage?
Yeah, there's not, they can be spaced apart, the commission, right, but further on the driveway. Along the driveway, like just really spaced apart.
So.
375 feet from the corner to Eric.
But it's something that we can, determine at a pre-construction meeting, where, where it may not be damaged. I think it's something that we pre-construction. I don't think in this case it's a straight shot. It's just to acknowledge that there's wetlands on both sides of the drive.
This is my understanding of the last meeting, is that we had, a question related to your wetland delineation that could have been. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, and then my guy and I saw all about and the wetland was extended and water.
That's been addressed on the plan. So I can show that.
Absolutely, no, but,
Okay, let me show you. So the B series was originally flagged as an isolated, and I think that's what the question was. So it comes down to 1F, and then what I heard at the hearing was to tie it into the green engineering floodplain. So it says approximate BBW down here, and it'll tie into the BBW, I'm sorry, the green engineering floodplain.
okay, so that is, we didn't even know that, but it is, we were given it. And that's why I'm wondering this question is proposed, and when we left last time, we may not have specified that because I wasn't sure if the what, how far or extent of the wetland was. But obviously we have a visual barrier, in this case, because of the length of the setback of this house, one that we would do post in signage. So
Right.
that's why I think maybe Maureen gives lost in translation is because we really weren't sure where the DPW was to bring it. So it wasn't that we were trying to play a shell game, it's just we weren't sure.
No, I understand. My takeaway from leaving that meeting was to take the B series wetland and tie it into the green engineering floodplain and call it a BBW. Now, maybe I misunderstood staff definition.
If that's what you know means that it's not clear that she know, I would quite, let him say. I'm just being a DPW icon, so I don't want to get you just tied in, and I just cannot do things, but I really meant this at home, I wasn't clear. But in any case, we're assuming, without it being delineated, we are now calling that or except to be DPW on that.
Right, and I do show 4 posts with signage along the B series.
Right. And I sent a note to Isabel that I thought a few more needed to be done down towards the culvert, but maybe I should more, but bring it out on the property anyhow. So it's really a property line is when you're coming down to the culvert.
Yes,
So if you know that, I want to be posted there, which I think we should. You know, maybe pull that off the property line a little bit, but anyhow, we just go on the driveway, maybe one more on that side.
that's fine.
And then on the other side, we would say just down to where
The pipes are,
culvert before you come into the easement.
that's fine. I was concerned because from this corner down to the circle is 375 feet. And I didn't want the cost of the expense to my client to
Yeah.
put the signs all over.
No, I'm really thinking, well, I know, and then you have those big pipes or whatever in the air. And I'm like, it's not, it's, that's really good. So no, that was my concern, is that small area where it comes in and starts going up, down to the culvert, they kind of talk about just going down to the culverts, and after that, and then we've got, as you said, some other areas that are have debris on it, where it's not from that, it's not, it's just what it is. So it is, you know, I'm going to see where it came from, that, I thought we were going to be different. But it's kind of different, and then I was going to show that we should do. But I think the others are following what I'm saying, is now we know that the wetland actually does, it's not an isolated water.
Right.
And we traditionally always have a visual barrier, so, you know, along that. You know, we're posted signage here.
Yes.
So we would just, and, I think I have a note, Marty, that is unusual to you. Usually, I always say, it's going to go to the inside variances and American Holly. And 11 in total, but usually, you actually use different icons and tell me which is which, and how many of what.
So the intent is, because the addition is proposed in this location and there's some of that vegetation along the lot, the homeowners would like to use that vegetation and relocate it. The homeowners would like to use the vegetation that they need to relocate for the in-large.
No, right. Okay, I'm talking more about when you get the steward and the buckets on down in the, east of us. Down here, we had to plug the gravel, right, so are those all going to be holly, those all going to be wood, again, what you're not talking is what is what? So I'm just curious.
So there's 6 shrubs in this location. There's 6 of them. So I like to leave it a little bit open so that it's native vegetation, so that if they get them this fall, I don't say 6 holly or 3 holly, 3 hibiscus blueberry, and then they can't find them.
We have proposed for the note on. I mean, this is unusual, because usually you have the planted seed in a box up here and tell us what type of species, how many, and we always have a caveat in that if it's not available, you know.
Right.
There's, you know, lots of, so.
I do have it up here. I don't specify which plant is a rhododendron, which one's a hydrangea. If the commission finds that that needs to be specified on the plan, I'm more than happy to specify it.
Well, you always expect that, and I haven't seen you do this before. That's why I was surprised, because
I just hate to micromanage where holly or hydrangea is done. I like to give my client,
you know, that those aren't your neighbors, those aren't your transfer over here, which is outside the 25 hours. Yeah, outside of the area, so I'm talking about our restoration area. Usually, with our restoration area, we have a mixture of usually conservation pigments, I think we say hybrid blueberry, maybe, you know, it's usually there, and that's why I was taken aback by this, it's not clear to me what's going on here. That's my opinion. We'll see the rest of it, but I usually, we always have as you do, you know, I think you have lots of years and they on any species, how many, and then conservation things, and typically, they said, kind of, could there be a balance if it's not available at the time?
Well, if the commission recalls this site, there's a number of arborvitae's that I think the homeowners would like to use and replant them if they can save them and replant.
Well, maybe you talk about, if you want a restoration plan for the restoration area, but I'm saying, I think typically do. Okay, well.
Okay.
Find it. And that, I don't even know that, so I'm sorry to get it. Okay. That's a thing, you know.
Yeah, I think that the area Joe was talking about, is that restoration area. I technically, yeah, I think the confusion is usually the charts say, you know, having or similar to kind of that. There's always the opportunity to talk to all. It's things are available. The other question I had was, the driveway one, where is it going?
So if you take a look at, there's a blue dotted line,
Right, well.
Right, yeah.
Right next to the line?
right in front of the end.
Yeah.
And that's where we're proposing the infiltration trench, which is 2 feet by 2 feet deep by 2 feet wide.
Then my question is that sufficient to infiltrate runoff from that size driveway, including the proposed and the existing?
I mean, it's a very large infiltration trench. It's 2 feet deep, 2 feet wide, and you're providing rooftop infiltration for the house.
Okay, so how long is that? 35 feet long?
This is a very scale, that's 50 feet long.
It is 50, okay. Almost there. Thank you.
I'm also that. Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I had a variance request to allow the existing gravel driveway within the 25 foot that's been there. And it was decided at the last hearing, I think we kind of split it down the middle in terms of what's being restored and what's left to remain.
All right, so you did, I'm sorry, actually. I don't know if you said, because we're right now, but you did submit the variance request.
Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't see it, you got that, like, one time, I think you read it, and I'm missing it.
I have it with me if you want to review it.
I thought it was on, but anyhow, I think you did it correct, and relative to the plan and chart. I don't have a problem to the schematic plan is pretty right, that's what we're set on the taken in it and everything that, even though we could write, we should have, we wanted to write everything in it, that we just did it flags here, so within a thought, I was just doing that in addition.
Joanne, may I ask a question? Can I submit that on an 18.5 by 11? Or does that need to be on the front? It doesn't matter to me, I just want to make sure I submit it correctly.
I think you guys are, okay,
Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna do rather than continue with that, because the plan is fine. it's, the information is just sporadic, I'm going to limit that I'm going to make that a condition that a revised plan showing the chart will be there, just so that it's certificate fine by the end. Okay. I think you, for the first record, we were there, it's request, and that was for the right for the law, for the zone. So I think the motion that we grant a variance that completion of the fee, which is the $25 as well, because the we didn't allow them to put in the registry of and put it on sign and so
All day on the side.
okay, do that on the motion that we close the hearing.
I'll add that as well, under the revised, so that I close the meeting.
You can put it as a petition that we, they will get it. All right, so I'll make a motion that we close the hearing 52 and where, when the R circle. The applicant is Lars Schultz, the 19576, the other 576, with the special condition that the, plan is correct. We're asking for a revised plan that will show the extended field barrier and the plan being shot on and then close the slide. Thank you.
Second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Eight seventeen, and next item that weapons protection and board of weapons protection by all weapons hearing, notice of intent, continue public hearing. 15 through 17 through 19, total road. Applicant being packaged, off the top of the street, 18 9 1 5 5 7 3 1 5 5 7. My name is Todd Miller, I'm the associate, Matt Gottlieb, and Jeff Sullivan from York. See like a while before we kind of trying to get this matter, but we're going to talk with other things, getting peer reviews, getting approvals, getting our a few minutes ago, we received an approval from the Board of Health as well on our stormwater permit as well as a couple of variances. Your won't come official until receive see more regulations. We also recently were with the planning board and got their second special permit approvals. We have that in hand, so that we can get away. Since we last talked, I think the last time we talked about some reductions that we made in the previous areas, pulled some areas back from the buffer zones. And try to reduce to the extent that we could the amount of pavement we were having close to the resource areas. We have since gone through a rigorous peer review process with both beta group, which are mainly on stormwater issues, but touch some other issues as well. And then Wetlands Protection Act and wetland replication peer reviews, we got to compare. I believe the letter wetlands. And the data resolution, we generally reached, there were a few items left in, their report that were up to the various boards and commissions. Like I said, this evening, earlier this evening, we, had a meeting with the board of health and got there. Next, yeah, there you go. So, just to refresh you, what we're proposing to do is remove 2 existing buildings from, this remainder portion of the Lantheus campus and develop 3 new buildings. One's about 98,000 square feet and the other 2 are about 58,000 square feet each. We are working with in buffer zones throughout the site, but I believe we're actually pulling things back from the existing impervious areas as well as slightly reducing the amount of room front area impact. There are 2 areas of isolated wetlands that we are seeking to build, and in sort of to replicate that. Instead of creating isolated vegetated wetlands, what we would like to do is remove a on-site sidewalk that will no longer be used in the disturbed area and create a replication that will basically bridge 2 more vegetated areas. Reason we decided to do that is that the original post of the values report that came out from our wetland scientists said that those 2 isolated pockets really had no significant values. The wildlife habitat values, minimal storm drainage value, but really that is big. That was also reviewed by Patrick Gardner. He agreed with those recommendations and thought that the proposed replication area that we found shown in the plans was a good idea. The vast majority of Mr. Gardner's initial comments just had to do with tightening up some of the documentation that we had for wetland replication area. We went out and did a few more handout test pits to make sure that the soil strata would work. We also performed a water balance budget on that. I think we used 4 years worth of data to show that there is enough precipitation to offset the effects of evaporation and transpiration that would occur in the natural surroundings. And we also catalog the plants to make sure that our proposed plants would be compatible with what's already there in the existing variants. So with that, I think that's really what the majority of the evidence that we have. Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing I forgot. We did finally reach some resolution with the planning board, the sidewalk. If you recall, last time we were here, we talked about the sidewalk, it's going to come across at Culver. They actually asked us to extend it all the way down to where it is has to do the sidewalk. What's the sidewalk there? So that's sidewalk, quite a way down. That's the extent.
For staff review notes on the sidewalk, do you anticipate additional impacts to resource areas and are those specified in the vision?
Yes, question. So we have identified the additional impacts and we've included that into the center around this documentation.
And then that was and that was also updated on the NOI form.
Yes.
And reviewed by Patrick. Okay. As far as staff review notes, just pointing to the commission that projects requires degree of stormwater infrastructure in Rutland's replication triggers the need for an environmental monitor. That's something to keep in mind with our finishing the project. But that being said, data is here, Phil, data is here, and you can summarize for the record, generally overall compliance with the standards.
For the record, so far as a data group, we've had a chance to review this plan a few times. It is a fairly aggressive site plan relative to the site, and there are a number of issues that we had to work through. The engineer was very and good imagination in terms of all the stormwater control measures that they employ on this, the system, on the site. The totality of it all is that they will meet the stormwater standards, the Mass DEP stormwater, the 10 standard, as well as the town's stormwater management regulations relative to TSF removal and processing. So it was quite a bit of back and forth, and the applicant very cooperative. The one unique thing that we recently discussed and met on was on the northeast corner of the site. You'll see that there's an isolated wetland kind of formed there. Just on the east side of that is a very steep slope that comes down from the prison site onto the site, and it currently weeps, meaning groundwater is seeping out of the slope and feeds that isolated wetland. The applicant is proposing to actually cut that slope even steeper and lower the groundwater to allow them to put in a foundation. Right now, the groundwater in that location would be above the finished floor elevation. We just discussed it with the Board of Health, that's a regulation relative to groundwater and related to the floor elevation. They are proposing to put a fairly significant under drain right at the top of the slope that they're gonna armor and protect the slope. So any water that moves out of here, we just gonna put. Oh, sorry. So, yeah. So, yeah, so this is the detail. If you can see, the slope, upper part of the slope there, in dash lines, and then they're cutting the slope to make a level path to the building. And they are putting a under drain, sub drain type to collect all of the water that's leaving out of the site to low levels. So a lot of that come on the side, and send it to their infiltration. So, I mean, that's the kind of unique thing that they had to deal with on the site. The unique thing, this is not normally a good thing to do to de-water an adjacent parcel, or any upland, because that's natural soil acts like a storage. But in this case, it's not going to be as significant because the soils are totally drained, meaning it takes a long time for the water to get there, and it's not likely to have an effect deep into the site. It's going to be a local de-water. That makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think just to expand on that a little bit more, if this was a sand and gravel site, what you would get is your dewatering profile would be much longer, much up towards the existing groundwater. When you have tight compact soils, what happens is that groundwater stays fairly flat until it hits that breakout, which in this case is the constructed slope, and then it drops down. So again, if this was a sand and gravel site, this would work.
This area of the site is far from sandy ground. Well, anyway, we do have some, recommended conditions at the end of my, report. Like I said, the project meets the standards. And
Yeah, so the letter that we was, really referring to was dated July 31st, 2024, which commission should be copies of. Those were also in addition to that, as the representatives noted that they are the project involves the filling of isolated vegetated wetlands, which in this case, these two vegetated wetlands are not subject to mass stormwater, I'm sorry, mass and wetland application involving BBW and Patrick Honor was retained to further assess the functions and values of the IBW. And also carefully and thoroughly review wetlands application. With that being said, I turn it over to Patrick Honor for the record. Someone is here.
With Patrick, or nice to see you all. So my focus is particularly on the two areas of the project today. Both the feeder, one of them is national feeders, artificial feeders are basically the modulated stormwater. One of them, along one area feeder behind one of the existing buildings is going to be large place, and it is the least value of the two areas. It's basically a very little swale. It does have a little bit of hydro vegetation, and it will trace of hydro soils. So technically, the function of those IBW, but beyond that, it's sort of a low grade feature. There's a rounded sort of polygonal feature that's also was developed to modulate stormwater that came off the pavement. It has a little bit of habitat value, but it's very wide. So my reaction was that the replication that they proposed, which is going to be ConCom CBW, was established, is far higher than. I will go to the revised plans that I reviewed. While the first version, that the aggregate study, the first version had multiple problems with including presentation planning that's in the specified basic plans. But all of that perspective, there were grading issues, there were issues of not knowing what the sewer hydrant was would be on the line, the replication area, which is, it was critical for the success of the thing. The largely the first version didn't comply with the replication standards or communication. And I noted though, if you review my review and the revised version came back and addressed all of those issues very thoroughly, very nice. I feel it was very cooperative to went over where in some instances both again what I was actually looking for. So it's all there in the number of additional subsoils to verify. People have they modified and revised planting schedule. It is going far superior to those out there. I have other issues, but if you guys have questions, go ahead.
No, entrepreneur also included, special condition, I think, what condition, for test pits, for.
No, my recommendation would be leave them alone, so for the outcome,
Oh.
issues.
Typically the TP requires or references a 3-year minor period for a lot of application. In this case, for this project, the commission has used 1 month for application and outside of this. And monitor that situation. Current basis, making sure that we're assessing soil conditions, that are groundwater, that's the plantings, as they're being installed. Stormwater monitor, I believe, was probably required by Board of Health. As part of their review process, and that's something we can streamline with them. But in the case of one application, class, its own. So,
I guess I'll start with Pat, who's still there. Thank you very much for the report. Early on, gentlemen know when we spoke of filling in these isolated vegetative wetland. The commission normally does not allow any loss of wetland. And reviewing the site and understanding, because we did protect it before on previous filings. So I had spoken to Isabel about my concern for the conversation, and I felt getting the BBW was probably a much higher value anyhow, but in order for us to justify our decisions, I appreciate everything you've given to us to be able to do that.
I totally agree, they're replicating to, I think it, or actually rated it to. And if it's, to the fact that which should be is probably.
Oh, it's going to be, and so as you pointed out, the BBW is protected under.
Yeah. Both
What?
say,
And at the end of it, that's really the IBW just.
yeah, it's exactly, that's, I figured that.
Yeah, so it's really a much higher and greater. That we're getting in this way. So thank you very much. Yeah, the question I had, you didn't make a note about eliminating the white pine list. You know, if they did that, I didn't see it in here. Is it? We'll go over that and condition each, but there's no way to plant it. You guys just mentioned that, or didn't say you come out for a rose out, but I didn't see it reach the white pine, so.
It should be. So, that I don't think we learned very, very carefully.
Okay, so yeah, that is, it's a great document. Thank you very much. It's good to help them making a decision and really justify that decision. Thank you. And then, yeah, I just feel important, and thank you for your security guards. Later on, if you, you've heard, it's before school, my relative to the reporting out the separation. There didn't seem to be any real issue with the designs going on, and that everything seemed to be an issue resolved, so. You're comfortable with everything. See, like your conditions are typical, if you give us some seeded test. I didn't see anything. Unusual on those conditions.
It was, yeah, I mean, there was some challenges relative to the amount. I don't know how they lined up some of those stormwater, but hopefully it be easy.
Yeah, it's a lot of review. My question to you though is I did see a couple of comments and I think it's about everything before that it's going to the draining water, that it was unusual, that they were using the holiday, and I mean, is it a big something?
Yeah.
What is it? So, you made some comment to it, so I avoided it, because I think it would have got something that said they had never seen that shut off down.
Right.
But convince you, okay?
I could give a brief presentation about it.
He gave a good presentation. Well,
Well, I just want to make sure that you are.
I think it's a unique, thought, and it seems to be much quicker to install than an 8 valve. 8 valves on big pipes are both expensive and very hard to operate, with a mechanical, you know. So this is something anybody can really install, you know.
I know that there was a question about maybe something that the usual, is that people on it, so I just want to make sure that, you know, that's.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's, you know, people on site have some training and, you know, they indicated that we're gonna be in signpost right next to the catch basin, so there won't be any kind of,
So that's signage is on the plan, so we know it's going to be done to be there, right?
Perfect.
And, oh, I'm here, but it's called a pig anymore. So I guess here inside our, here inside our. Cause our engineering department, there's a letter of touching. Do they sign off on it?
I don't
I
know.
guess it's an actual.
Yeah, as far as, our review of it, I agree with Bill, I really haven't seen it, but I think it does the plan for a rapid response, as long as it's properly labeled in the field. Where the location is within the accents.
This is the same. You can see in the pictures, it plays over the benefits.
Well, I appreciate this.
I mean, it's, you place it in those tubes on the side right next to the catch basin,
Yeah, I can
in
see
the event
that.
something happens, you just place it right down and reusable or washable.
Yeah, it does be a lot of.
Yeah, right on, yeah, the black part, it's sick right down.
Those are all, I through all the comments, so, as always, thinking that I can go. And.
Yeah, that's about that. That wall that they're cutting away with the drain, what they're doing does not affect anything on the buying property, especially the first property.
Yeah, we did discuss that, so as was explained, the water is coming out of the slope now. And it will continue to come out, but it will be, they're gonna shape the slope steeper and honor it, as well as put, some filter fabric there, to protect the slope. So you won't see the water anymore, it'll be underneath the stone, you know. It'll fall down to the perforated pipe.
And it will continue to flow away and pass it back, but it's coming down. That's it.
Right. So that'll protect the road and
That was another thing, so, and I feel a lot better about this project now, because when we first came in, with, you know, filling in twice, I was expecting, my all the stuff response was in wet. So going through this process, I feel a lot better about it, it's an outcome of it, if you want. Technical resources for the past, so thank you for all your work, thank you, Joe, and it's what's been, the environment.
Environment, it's really a slow monitor, it's really required to go down. We streamline that requirement with them, but there's a separate monitor that's required for, in the case of non-ratification. As consistent with our, their following.
So we have to be reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and for something like this, you know, you would want to condition that wetland notification be completed at the start of construction, so then that way, as they're building the project, they already have a wetland application here that can be run throughout construction, that's usually how it's permitted. That's not in his head, yes.
Yeah, I don't believe.
Because it does take a while to vegetate, and so if there's any problems, if we really don't see a connection, ecological connection, or signs of groundwater, we at least have a relevancy to a project of this nature, people, and that can occur sometime during construction, allows you to keep a close eye on the wetland application. Because you do want to see.
Thank you all, and thank you to everybody who deals with the work, we close back and fill and back and during everybody.
Yeah. Very thoroughly described treatment places we say that I give you 3 days, every 3 days, now that's never going to happen. They don't tell me, also tell me that maybe they're twice a year, but we want to know when those days will be. And not end of October, first part of November, and first part of April, but specify when the sweeping will be done. Obviously, then there's a stream, sanding or salting in the area of the storms. Mention that we take care of the stuff at that time. Also, on your snow storage site, took me a while to figure out that the law was really going to have a snow storage. They told me we weren't going to have. But I should know this, you're right. But I figured that yellow one is what you're trying to tell me that you want to do. But it just is a lot of reading, but we can maybe a little bit more concise with those comments. Tell me, listen to 3 speakers, but then when you're on, I don't need to maybe know each one of them. Tell me you want to do this. Okay, thank you.
I'm also that, a new member here, and I don't know a lot about this project. I'm all set.
Christine?
I am good, it's been, progress.
Yeah.
I'm good, good job, Bill.
There's a lot of else, very long, but looks like it should be very well done, very well, very good. Thank you. No, I mean, that's. Any comments at all? Okay.
All right, well, first we want to look at the, things that are operating, so it's not able to give them over to the whole thing. Community Valley Drive.
Well, quite, let's try to come to the floor.
Right, so, but then it's, you know, I think that, mentioning, I was having been, again, to create, receive three, so that people, now, operations, like, this is a good, how they the problem.
Second.
Okay, with that, we'll close the hearing. Excuse me. For 317, the applicant is being acted to be called for partner of LLC, about 15557, 557. We're going to close an issue, we're going to have a couple of decisions, one that we will have to find the monitor. He opens the project, and that would be for 3 year period. And that the verification areas is to be completed from construction at the beginning of the project. Oh, yes, now we accept the conditions as submitted by the factory department, the wetland specialist, and data and peer reviews from
Second? All in favor?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Paul.
Great, good evening, members of the board. Thank you in advance for your time tonight. My name is Zach Rickard. I'm the senior project manager with Bowler Engineering. With me tonight, representing the owner applicant, Scott Greenfield, KS Partners. And then I also have, Christopher Lucas, the Lucas Environmental. We were last in front of the commission on May 24th, before we brief celebrate there. This, as a reminder. Apologies, I'm okay with it for now, in case it'll end up being. But this is the site plan, it's as a reminder of the project we're looking at here. It's about 140,000 square feet or square feet of black unit space, located at 296 Concord Road. We've been at this for a while now. We initially presented to the commission back in March 13th. Couple of trips to the planning board, we got approval from the planning board on July 8th. And we were in front of the commission and then on June 24th. Every time we completed the peer review, I think ran through all of the feedback, and part related to that. There were two items that the commission wanted us to follow up on. The first was a failed culvert located at the site, in close, I guess, close proximity to the proposed project and scope of work. I think the request was a more detailed description and plan showing how that culvert would be repaired, as well as cost estimate. So those are both have been provided. And then we also worked closely with the town and conservation agent over the last month to further discuss and evaluate the existing drainage swale located along it's the west side of the proposed building and project there. As I presented at the June 24th, we did have some pretty thorough documentation relative to the plans that showed the development back in 97. And how that resulted in a determination that one of the large existing infiltration basins on site was not jurisdictional, although admittedly had not been maintained. So what we were working through with the town and staff was a discussion and documentation again of our stance that that grass swale was not jurisdictional. we since met with them last week, and presented our case, that said. At this point, the applicant, can't afford any further both costs and time delays. So we have some latest plans to show that swale as approximate, for the vegetated wetlands, as requested by the staff and town and the commission at the last hearing I alluded to. So that has been reflected on the plans in front of you. I believe you satisfy those, if not all the other comments and peer reviews and even a couple of referrals to the commission. That we ran through the last hearing. And the culvert was also, we were directed to submit for a emergency repair certification for that culvert repair, which we've also followed up with since that meeting last week. So again, you know, the applicant's very committed to move forward with that repair, despite you know, the stress asset and cost challenges that we relayed at the last hearing, and we're here hopeful of a positive decision tonight. But I'm happy to answer any questions and that in any more detail. Thank you again for your time.
Project applicant needs to obtain a variance for work in the floodplain. So that's in the process. Just want to remember, yes, we did have a conference call based on some of the review that we conducted in the department, but also in discussions with some of the members who noted that this stream, it is a very funky site. But as you know, there's a detention basin, and some of the members that reviewed that project were involved. But if you look at green engineering floodplain is a resource that you refer to, and there's a stream that connects over to the Mellon Brook. Historically, before the site was developed, that stream is conveyed from a large mountain system and culverted through here, and then you can see on the engineering plans the development of the site. So based on discussions with the applicant, they added in that says approximate location wetlands based field observations by town of Warwick Conservation Department. And that was a discussion that I had with some of the members that wanted to see that identified as a resource area. So we could make it go from the wetland upstream down to the road. The way it was culverted, it was called, it's tied in to a detention basin on the other side of that collapsed culvert. That was the urgency that the commission mentioned restoring that, because not only does it convey stormwater around, but also particularly stream flow during certain times of the year. You review, that was essentially the only update to the plan.
That's correct.
Also, Peter conducted a very thorough review, and Bill is here to present kind of an overview and summarize peer review of that project with master and energy standards.
Sure. For the record, so far this Beirut, we've been working with the applicant here and engineer for the approval of the third building on the site. And we've had back and forth. So this is a site that is considered a new development because it exceeds the current impervious surface. on the lot, so, they have to, design it to a higher standard, relative to TSS removal, and phosphorus removal. So they've done that, they have, design systems because they are, relatively, the water head is relatively high. They've designed systems, I believe, with water, but they do have the treatment relative to, the required situation. They do have, however, lack, a second test pit in the location of the, stormwater, infiltration systems. They are requesting a, condition that it be done, during construction. We kind of don't like to do that. There isn't a whole lot of room on the site for issues to change it. They do, however, at least one set of 50 on it. So, we're relatively, so we recommend that they, at a minimum, that they have a condition that they do these first, before they do any other construction, so that they can, potentially adjust their site if they need to. They also need to request, a variance relative to the depth of the groundwater. But they've done that in the other sites, the other projects in the site. We do have, so other than that, they do meet the standards. All the standards of Mass DEP standards, as well as, the town's, stormwater bylaw. And we have listed a, typical B, conditions at the end here. I would note that we missed one, which would be reflected in, SW17. It's really just, a requirement to have the, stormwater, operation and maintenance plan inspection report, submitted to the town annually, on or before May 3rd. So it's outlined as SW17. So. Impression.
In addition to the presentation, we did mention that is in a request for emergency certification, addressing that over. It's listed on the miscellaneous, or administrative matters, at the beginning, and I probably can discuss that further to keep things separate, but, the commission requested more information and, I think, yeah, that's provided them. Kind of your overall change of review between the 6 of the road, since that public is on that property.
And if I may just add to that, the intent there is to replace that culvert in kind, we're hopeful reutilizing the existing head walls that exist there and simply take down, replace that culvert, match the size of this today, and it's great patterns. But utilize 3/4 concrete pipe instead of the corrugated metal that's there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was not part of the proposed project, so it's part of your. But it's very straightforward for replacing an existing culvert that failed in.
We did send it to the person that, weeks ago, and so did want to look at it a bit more carefully. What is the material that you're replacing the culvert with?
Reinforced concrete.
They usually use like a plastic or a PHP.
Why would you use an AES?
Yeah, you can, I mean, I think either one is generally, generally, accepted. Standard engineering practice,
Yes,
I think with the concrete handles, I think RCP, but, or there's a plastic pipe, D-series should be pretty standard.
My recommendation would be that, Christina Patent Office review this and. But I, the applicant is committed to funds for the replacement. We did discuss on the conference call, addressing the compliance with the mass stream crossing standards, at least roughly that no inlets or deep inlet or outlet, it shouldn't be drawn. That was continuity, and I can see that they've addressed that.
All right, so I'm the reason I'm asking this is because first time I'm really gonna do it, but, we handle this separately as an emergency. Then what Bill has reviewed, the overall project, the close, when I was out there separately, so we could review on this, not incorporated, but I would feel that.
Well, we want, yeah, and also if that project doesn't go forward, we have an emergency circulating where address and immediate harm to pedestrian and traffic that exists out there today. And it's a flow restriction as well.
And if we do this in the emergency, then we can set a time.
Yes.
And I think that's something that I don't actually be down the road while I was bringing through this and see that. So, and as far as the, name plan goes, our management, did I previously say that we got approval from way out?
No, that's our next song, so we're seeking a waiver and still alluded to for or visit as well, for work within the 25-foot. Floodplain, within the floodplain, 25-foot buffer, as well as, various permanent separation of sea line. Considering the other progress.
But they're included, this is part of the boundary line, it's not a separate line, so it's. But again, it's acknowledged.
Oh, and why is it that we were not able to do that second test pit now?
So one of the systems is actually located partially within existing building footprints. Yeah, we did go through it on, and then there's some physical vegetation too, sort to do that, but we do have a lot of opportunity to slide the system that we need to. We feel confident in our ability to fit that on site, it's just a question of access and some demo that we did, for one of those systems.
Okay, so this is there, a condition that that second test can be done at the beginning of construction, so that, that it's viable to do, so that means you're not having system and
It's actually a portion of underground, like below grade basement that extends beyond the building footprint, so. We'd be agreeable to, start, we can mobilize there, we could, start demoing that piece and when that's a little bit confirmed.
I'm sure that make a condition that you'll be able to adhere to it, that's what I'm just trying to get that, okay.
Yeah,
All right, so we should have that make a condition. I don't think I have any other questions, but then, I remember the first time I think, thank you for listening to the concerns of the extension parts, I know that this is probably, and, I don't think that's probably what we want. And thank you, but we wonder, but we're risking, we want to be, okay, let's start. And thank you, again, very much, I think we did a good time, so also it's just really, the other thing, and
So
I just wanted to clear on this really issue. Very comfortable with the way it's said, it's not really actually, you know,
And it's really, there was a lengthy discussion, they provided plans showing, reference to that area as future, will be there, so there's always an exchange. Some of the members might be familiar with this property, about street connectivity and was directly next to the street, repair the side slopes for, this is a drainage job, the erosion that is occurring along that stream. This is all, and that's the same street.
and I would like to. I have been looking at the site, for decades, site, it was, I know that. It connects in, wildlife corridor, it's in the wildlife, and things like that. So, thank you, sir. Did you need anything that I found the,
That was some of the information that Zach was in the last meeting as well. So he had that information, disputing the fact that there's a public which future not, regulated, streets.
yeah. Yeah. We can do that. Thank you all, thank you.
I'm all set. I'm all set, but I agree with that, and then we're gonna do it. We're gonna do that. Jeff, you good with this? Anyone else will comment?
And just if I may clarify on the drainage swale, the previous, and this is all detailed in that memo, but documentation shows it as a proposed drainage swale and, you know, cross country drainage, BMP, if you will. Before that, there was a stream there, I mean, up for debate, there was hydraulic connectivity, but I just want to clarify that that wasn't constructed drainage swale as documented in the memo plans, record plans that we provided, so. It was constructed, but it was built.
I don't want to get into the argument about it, but it was constructed because it relocated from when they put in the big parking lots and stuff, so, you know.
Peter's comment on.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right, I think we just had a request for the one hearing, so it's the community part of the 25 Wall Region Zone. And so, I think I made a motion on that, and you know, cover we do, the work they do. I think that this is they show that they have to do the art within this 25 foot. I'll make a motion that we grant the there's a 3.0 3
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Okay, I'm going to from the time with the I don't have the date, but we'll put that in the appreciate. Some has been what again, two sets of plans been submitted to the office where the student where we live a student. And those to be, certified as a tree because of the listing. Okay, that's, now I'm going to the phone, I issue and issue with that. That.
All in favor?
We have a perspective.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think we want to be able to. Me too. Yes, I want to be this one.
I don't want to get killed, you know, I'm blocking it.
You know, sorry, I've never, you know, it was overbooking and meetings. Good point.
Take one away.
Yeah, well, yeah. Nice. Computer's wrong.
It means like it.
Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
You're close.
You're done.
And the emergency certificate.
That administrator.
Okay.
Got a couple of goals.
I think the commission could be moving forward. Yeah, forward since it's at the top of administrative matters.
Make a motion that we approve the adoption of the, emergency certification for snowing construction contract. Primary, order to discuss one.
All in favor?
Okay, so the applicant has submitted a request for a certificate of, I'm sorry, that's for the records. Very long name. They submitted additional information, a cover letter outlining the need for it and overall restrictions associated with complying with the same classroom standards, particularly for culvert replacement. You know, there's separate standards for new culverts and separate standards for culvert replacements. And there's a lot of constraints out there. There's existing railways, wetlands, both sides, utilities, and right now there's an immediate need to repair the road, and the culvert for safety reasons. And it's pedestrian traffic, and again, to maintain flow. They understand that they cannot, the culvert cannot result in a new drop or an inlet drop or outlet drop. It needs to provide continuity with the culvert from what's being created upstream, downstream. My recommendation is that Christina $1,000 take a look at this as well, and we'll provide you but what is your schedule?
Once we get this, they're good.
Okay. That's it. So I would like to work with DPW to review this and just keep them moving along to the daily public since they are making it a priority.
We think we're going to do
I'm sorry,
we're going to do local.
oversee the public business on. That is. But it was, they want to keep it separate for a number of reasons, and I really don't want to play this up because of a large project. You know, some large projects never are restricted. I can say that something that we would like, pursue to be, you know, inspect with our, be with inspector as well. Maybe have a open sign to as well. She has, and she had, and she's, Christina's been working with, their requests. And, really coordinating for, with our department as well, very well. They need to do that.
Yeah, it was, evident that you reviewed and had a regular vision. But, you're saying you're not changing the size of the volume that went through and the flow, so you're going to have an engineer that after will be able to,
Oh, yeah, that's the whole one.
yeah.
Or at least verify that it's going in at the right elevation.
Okay.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, you're gonna take shots before you do it.
They-
Shots after.
so as Jeff just said, that's the key thing, the color replacements is in check and it's installed. No, you can absolutely like request that. They can mark it out and you even if, you will read of the plan.
And if I may, there are existing invert elevations on the survey, they're a little hard to get out there, right, background. But again, you could tweak it to make that a little clearer, but the head walls, because it's full, so you have to patch the existing invert there, and that's what this.
Just maintaining the existing headlines, should the headlines go back, security door. And I'm going to.
All right. We issue with emergency certificate to pay and part from those to public repair as shown on the plan and to the audience from the board of the 11th of the board. And prior to the working plan, we will have review by the town engineer. And for the final report, showing that is typically compliant, and showing the final elevated. Yeah. Second.
All in favor?
I know sometimes it's hard to tell what it is.
Contact you about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's something that we need to coordinate together. So, one email chain with all of us, so everyone's on the same page. You can have the contact with information. Okay. I don't know who pays partners for that. Okay, we use little complicated, kind of general questions. I didn't know that he was doing the checks.
Thank you all for your time. Really appreciate it. So.
That was the lead.
Can you tell me what's the technical name of this problem?
So, if you bring the water,
That was
You all have a good night.
Council funds, protected by law, but material notice of the intent, public hearings, 505 Boston Road. We keep our line.
The request to extend, we do send out the agenda to all, it's one of the engineers or representatives. I would, this is a project where they, we are working with the state, and, we're getting some information. Right, we should actually do a request to continue on with that, I would, recommend that we just continue this, the applicant is, if they're, it's gonna line up with the commission very well. I would allow additional time for it, his current is to address or to, that is, that is, to the commission.
I'm gonna motion that it continue the hearing, the fire,
All in favor?
I,
He's the first. Okay, so, first on the administrative matters, well, not first, second, is a request for certificate of compliance associated with DEP file number 109-798 for 283 Ramsgate Road. You initially had received some information from the applicant, the owner, you may recall, it was for the construction of a large garage on this parcel in the back. The commission required a visual barrier as part of that, but they had initially started construction for that garage. This predates me, this is based on all the information they collected. They initially had started construction for that garage, a detached garage, without approval from the ConCom. They were told they needed a file, and they did. As also as part of that, or separate from that, there was work that was altered or weapons that were altered on the site, shooting system, and DEP was involved in an enforcement site order, and with corrective measures was required. The commission received an update. You spoke at meetings, two meetings, October 13, 2021, and October 27, 2021. Our last correspondence associated with this, which is this now, right? It's to heaven. Even though it's another right? This way. But in our email dated September 2023, this is notes, and I had, this is to her husband, she stopped in. Mrs. Mulcahy stopped in last week to check on the status of the request for certificate of compliance that was submitted and requested a signature from the department. And then we had acknowledged that I will see attached documentation of incomplete RCOC application. Beyond information, and this is to the applicant. I also attached the meeting minutes from October 2021 and October 13th, October 27th. Noted that before proceeding further, I recommend we discuss the wetland plans associated with the site I believe there is an updated delineation that may have been completed, but information was not submitted to the ConCom as requested during the meeting. So essentially, the applicant at that meeting discussed the RCOC for the garage. At the time, the commission required some wire fencing to be removed and a postal and rail fence to be installed. Not further plan, but upgrading of that, and we can, set that. You requested a wetlands delineation be completed near the garage, around the garage, and further down the street, or down the driveway, and we have those details in our meeting minutes. You have not received that delineation. I believe they were coordinating, one was coordinating with someone out there. The reason why I also wanted the delineation was because this corrective action never occurred. I believe most, we got new members with the stream, and there was some alteration that occurred over time. They basically honored the stream banks. About 15 years go by, and there's a lot of vegetation growth. In fact, based on our site, we believe that some of the area that was to be restored is actually now BBW as well. We wanted concurrence on that formally as part of the one consolidation. And decided that when the RCOC was incomplete, and also that there was corrective action that was never clarified when issues that's compliance until full corrective action. Steve Dresser, I think, was working on that before. But now, Lucy, you want to introduce yourself and,
Good evening, my name is Yushan Abishal, I'm part of the family name LLC, and obviously involved. The owners of 283 Range came to me many months ago and requested to find a certificate of compliance just for the detached garage. So we delineated the wetland in the city of the detached garage has been delineated and surveyed and added to the as-seen plan that was submitted as part of the certification submitted request for the compliance. The order of condition for this garage under the defined number 119-790 was issued more than 20 years ago. And it was recorded. It is recorded at the Ministry of Peace, and as per the documents which is submitted in this certificate of compliance package, all the and there are all records of at that time the Conservation Commission that they approved everything. The building department also approved the construction detached garage. The garage include connectivity, no connection, either topography or physical or hydraulic connection with the brook. That is the difference defined. And all the written documents that the order of conditions at the time has issued at that time, and building department and all the health department, there is a complete page that all the departments have approved this garage addition, and that was one of the attachments in the request which was submitted. So, and right now the garage is there is a gravel path towards the existing gravel path with the street for the garage. All around the garage, it's nice and green, and the grass has grown, and it meets all the requirements set in the order of conditions which was issued at that time, decades ago. This is the only sort of an older couple with health issues. And I really, there is nothing wrong. They have met all the according to the documents which they have submitted, there's nothing wrong in issuing a certificate of compliance for these files. This might give them some incentive to take care of the other. We think this should be held on its own merit. And there is no adverse impact to any resource area, this garage, and the sand. There is no adverse impact that this garage had to the growth of for the adjacent BBW. So with that, I guess when the applicants will come to the place that it's a bit compliance, this is an old case, 20 years old. And really no harm done. So we had a request theory that is a really big issue for this garage issue. Thank you.
So with that being said, the other DEP file number is DEP file number 109855, also the subject of your October 2021 meeting. Both files we have discussed. And there was a interview on Steve Dresser. The commission provided guidance to the applicant. They noted that you wanted a full wetlands delineation. For the property, the as-built in doesn't reference the stream connecting the stream system, and there's information about that. That's the area that is altered with boulders. But we know by the development site visits that this area is growing in. I don't know if the 109855 was ever recorded at the registry. The second report. The purpose of that NOI was to do corrective action. So they spoke about it in the comments about it on the NOI. NOI was just associated with that as part of this. We didn't issue reports before, this year. Not formally. But there's much discussion that. Yes. Yeah, it's what you started out with that. This has been an ongoing battle for 20 years. For the garage, they work on without finding originally from where I know. Correct, yeah, this predates me, but on the evidence shows, they started work without a weapons permit, and then they issued a cease and desist, and then they filed for a weapons permit, which is what they're asking for. So that was reported. This one, I don't think it was ever reported. And when they filed for this, we fought for them out the work they needed to do, it's really correct. When they filed for this. Yeah, correct. So I personally do not have a position or information. I mentioned it's going to compliance on the project, it's been in violation for over years. That the homeowners have known that they need to do work out there, and it shows them not to. This is a long planning file on the site. I don't know if some of the other community members have been out. I think Jack would have, yeah. You also mentioned
Let me ask you a question. Why after 20 years do they need to compliance now? They didn't sell the house.
I don't think so. I think it's the prime investments. They just want to close all the issues on it and, this survey, this issue, I think Yes, our problem on that, and they just want to make it very close here. And you're not violation, violation.
They in fact acted as a very extreme, that they destroyed weapons, they wanted the folders, and they never have done anything for the situation out there. So, I mean, I can't speak for the whole commission, but based on my experience out there and knowledge of this, from having seen it over the years, I am not willing to stick to sign a certificate of compliance. I think because they've never followed through with what they were supposed to do.
If there is an order of condition for the road, which is right now, the way it is right now, it's. Part of that order of condition, I'm sure, they are willing and we will get it reported, we get it into the process.
But I haven't got it, and I'm not, well,
That was also issued, I don't have that file, but it was issued as a result after the filing for the garage. It's 109, yeah, 109,855. We have, I mean, staff spent a lot of time back in 2021 researching. In 2023, we said that before proceeding further, she was inquiring about the incomplete RCOC that had been submitted. We recommended that we discuss the files associated with the site. And I noted that a wetland delineation was required, not just for this area, but the commission was very specific about having a wetland delineation here. And I think the commission members from going out had acknowledged that a lot of vegetation has been established along the bay. And, you know, what appeared to be altered, and I'm not sure it was, again, this all predates being fill or not. I think with green engineering, floodplain and large wetland system, I do think it's expanded in this area. But the commission wanted it all documented on where the limit of wetland is associated with the property. I don't believe the 8 items that were reported. And again, that order of conditions was related to kind of an enforcement. The DEP did provide comment on that. Square footage was involved.
You know, and the gentleman is saying that, you know, he says nothing to do with this, but this is the weapon that's feeding this stream, so it is, it all one piece of property. Right, so,
But as you know, if the commission may recall, the gentleman is his wife, we're at the meeting, Steve was at the meeting for something else, and, he thought he hired the people to take care of that, to do a delineation, and he assumed that people were addressing the problem. He wasn't an applicant that was following the course, and, oh, by the wayside, and sure, but the gentleman who had started doing the work, wetland scientist, I believe, passed away, I'm not sure. Or moved on to another farm, I'm not 100% sure, but anyhow, the commission said at the last 2 hearings that, or meetings that they attended, that you wanted a wetlands delineation as part of your due diligence to make sure that, you know, what was established as BBW before is indeed.
Still with that,
Yes, and yeah, exactly. Or that you're not resulting in a net loss. Yeah. That's the key word, no net loss of BBW.
so you need to hire someone to do this. Well,
And I thought they had, this plan I know is detailed here, but I believe the owners hired someone to do a more detailed wetlands delineation. Do you have that information?
No,
Yeah. I'd ask.
no, like I said, the focus was there in 19790. And if you issue a certificate for 19790, the other issue is still It doesn't invalidate, the other issue. So what's the point of writing something which has been hanging around for 2 years? It gets worse.
Because of the enforcement associated with the commission provided guidance, 2021, our office provided guidance, 2023. The RCOC, you know, is an RCOC, we provide explanation and on some general compliance, but the commission provided guidance on both permits that were issued.
If we had only narrowly reported, I don't think there are two.
I don't, well, I don't think there's, I don't believe the second order conditions was
Right.
was for the purposes of correcting certain things on the
I
site.
don't think one outstanding one. The issue, so. Yeah, there is plenty of later and still talking about this. Diane and I did it one, to remember this one. And every time I say up the numbers, because I see it, I remember it. Now, it's work to be done, and I think they have to do that before we consider issuing a certificate of compliance. So with that, on the motion that we take no formal action to issue or deny a certificate of compliance. Because we,
So what did they have to do?
You're.
I think our, we have discussed issuing an enforcement order. If that's something that we want to get on record, so we at least.
So I don't think it was the second time. So I make a motion that we issue an enforcement order on. Doing the Winter Road, with the nuclear work we done, it's already been laid out, it's already had a pretty long document.
Well, it's with the investigative work, just documentation on what may need to still be restored or not.
We need to limitations of what is it today, has it been the office of the other, has it been fulfilled, we have to store that type of thing, but. Following that motion.
All in favor? Aye. Second. Jack. So, I did something, taking some, we can guidelines.
Yeah, again, we met, she asked questions at the counter, and we pulled the file, and provided her with an email, and we have minutes where the commission, you know, kind of discuss what they need in order to proceed, with their due diligence on approving or removing, encumbrance on property deed. So I think that this project is, again, another file. I'm more than happy to sit down and have a meeting with you, the owner, whoever's going to take the next steps. Okay,
So the issue is broken.
yes,
They need to delineate the property. Correct?
in order for this commission to determine based on all the plans that they have as part of that other finding, whether or not there's still corrective work or a net loss of wetlands that needed to be remediated. That's what that order of conditions was all about. So this commission does not feel comfortable releasing an encumbrance on a property deed with outstanding corrective measures on a property,
I think, like you said, they need to sit down and.
which is what we recommended in an email. We did, I don't know if they shared that with me, but it's in our file. I'm more than happy to forward it to you if you like.
Yeah, so, this, you know.
I really didn't know you were working on it until we received the request.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, we discussed, Rangeley Road, moving on to DEP file number 109, 1139, BPL 1139. 20 Bennett Circle, staff recommends closing, and issuing a certificate of compliance. Mike is working with these owners to address some outstanding, posting of fence, environmental signage that was required. The permit
Plantings, it was for an in-ground pool.
back in November of 2010.
No, I went, it was hot, no.
So as part of your as-built plans, as you know, we reviewed the project of the plans with the original order, per what's required, but also two standards that we reviewed with the commissioner in the past, dimensions of units installed a visual barrier that was required to be, if it's anything too that's
No.
older, the visual barrier is required, sometimes it was right at the wetland boundary, that's when we presented it and discussed it with you. So with that being said, we recommend 20 Benny Circle, be closed. File number 109, 1202, 24, PDL 1202, 24, Mark Brook Road. No formal action to accept or deny this certificate of compliance. The permit was issued in May 2013 and includes construction of a new septic system on site. The project design also includes restoration of on-site inner buffer zone and the visual barrier. Below, so no alteration zone needs to be reseeded, portion of it. A portion of the post rail fence needs to be repaired, and placards need to be provided on the post rail fence. And also remove some miscellaneous debris. All of this is going to be laid to the property owner. If you recall, initially, the post rail fence was installed. This is a raised septic system. I don't know if some members recall it. The post rail fence was installed and then removed by the owner. We have an as-built plan that shows the post rail fence, and went out there and did not see, in all the plantings that were, some of the plantings that have been installed or removed. So the new homeowner, subsequent to that person, has been working through this process.
All right, I'll make a motion that we, take no formal action to accept or deny a certificate of compliance for 19202, the other to approve, and the not.
Okay, moving on, PDP file number 109, 1446, BPL 1446, this was the 9, Inbar Circle. You may, recall this was the commission approved, initiated order of conditions back in December 2021, which included the construction of an addition and garage on the right side of the house. They had a previous project. But the project design also included substantial restoration of on-site inner buffer zone and of hard visual barrier instead of the plantings that had been installed. Happy to report your as-built plan includes all of that, and in fact, Oxbow Associates inspected and monitored the site for 2 growing seasons. Additional plantings were installed, the inner buffer zone is thriving and healthy. The commission required that as part of the review, that they remove crushed stone, as well, and some other miscellaneous things to the left of the house and expanded their driveway, which is not permitted by the commission. They also brought in the fence, which is behind the house. They put in a green fairway, but that fence, they restored some inner buffer zone, well, per the plan that you approved. Everything was completed with the exception of the addition garage. for, you know, their own reasons. But they would like to close it and remove the encumbrance from the property title, but you have the record of hospital monitoring reports. Some of the plantings, a couple of plantings, didn't thrive, but you can't even tell that it's flourishing, so it's very healthy in their buffers and fantastic chunk up.
Fine, so from 19446, and DBL 1446, 936.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll turn over 600, sorry. DEP file number 109, 1480, DBL 1480, 600 circle, no formal action to accept or deny at this time. The permit was issued in 2022, including construction of a new single-family dwelling. The project included restoration of on-site indoor buffer zone, and I believe in this case, 450, and a visual barrier plus no fence. Based on the latest review, a buyer acknowledgement form needs to be submitted to the department. Environmental factors need to be placed on the closing of fence. Erosion control sediment control needs to be removed, the DEP sign. There was a section of the closing of fence that, was destroyed that needs to be repaired. Minor asphalt debris was spotted in the no alteration zone that was actually previously pointed out before. On the asphalt plan, make a reference to the restoration, plantings on the asphalt plan, meaning documenting that they were installed and they are kind of the current condition.
Planning motion to take one more action to accept and deny the speaker of the time to file 19480, DBL 130, 600. Second.
Okay, last, DEP file number 109, 1502, BBL 1502 for 44 Dunham Road. They completed a very thorough request for certificate of compliance. We did provide comments on the as-built, and based on our site inspections, noted that, some areas were not stabilized, and additional site signage was required. Reseeding of basin slopes in inner buffer zone, happy to report all of that work is documented as completed in writing in this on site.
Yeah, and one of the issues is the line.
Second.
Wow, wow, all good. The boss will do that.
I don't think I did.
You do have the subminutes that were reviewed, by the secretary, drafted by Christina. Those were for May 8th, 2024. I reviewed the comments, I understand the clarification, and the minor grammatical edits to it, to the minutes, and, at least we're not getting the entire version. I believe we're seeing it now. Okay, all right. No, that was already posted. So, I'll send these out with my edits, okay? And as far as the other ones that I would table, we'll get those off the agenda.
Well, I think there's one place in the rest of you, but if there's any, but it just wants to correction, so we get it, important maybe the vast majority of the Bible and
We'll send these out, but I would table the rest and adjourn the meeting of the commission.
Yep. Second.
we made a motion down here.
Look at the Jeff, we'll make them all. You, I'm with you. Oh, I'm not ready. Second. All in favor?
I know, she's in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.